Hello, this is Ernest Burley, your CIA, your cool insurance agent, back at you again with some more great information on insurance. I'm a licensed insurance agent with over 30 years experience in the industry, and I have clients all across the country in various arenas of insurance, whether it be life insurance or what have you. So, our specialty areas are various areas of insurance. So auto insurance, homeowners, condo, renters, church, life insurance, long-term care, disability, health insurance. So we cover the whole gamut of insurance to give you clear and unbiased information. So the purpose of this podcast is to empower you, to educate you, to enlighten you, so you can have clear, objective, unbiased information so you can make the right decisions for yourself and for your family, okay? That's what this is all about. Get the good information, sit down, take a look at it, and then be able to make a good, conscientious decision about saying I'm a well-informed insurance consumer, as opposed to not knowing what you're doing out there. That's not a good place to be in. Okay, so here we go. That's it for my intro. I want to get right into our podcast for today. So our podcast for today is titled ROP Life Insurance. Get all of your money back. So people sometimes ask me about getting all their money back out of an insurance policy. And that's not the way insurance normally works, right? So your auto insurance, your homeowner's insurance, health insurance, you're not going to get a check back for your premiums at all. That just doesn't happen. That's not the way insurance works. Insurance is a pool of money. Everyone's paying into the pool. And when something unfortunate happens, someone gets into an auto accident, or they have a fire in their home, or the wind blows the roof off, or someone is injured and they have to use their health insurance, they pull from the pool at that point, right? So that's the way insurance is. Everyone pays into the pool. If you have to file a claim, then you pull out of the pool of money that's being poured in. So there's normally not a way for you to get your money back out of insurance, but I'm going to explain to you two ways that you can get your money out of a life insurance policy. So there are two different types of plans that you can get your money back out of life insurance. Okay, so we're going to go over those two today in this podcast. The first one is called ROP, term life insurance. So ROP stands for return of premium. And it does just that. It's just what it says. After the term, so term policies are for a certain period of time, 10-year term, 20-year term, 30-year term. So after that term, the company returns all your premium, right? The premiums that you paid over that period of time. So that's a sweet deal, right? And it's tax-free to you because you paid the premiums with after-tax money. The money's already been taxed. So after that 10-year period of time, or 20-year period of time, or 30-year period of time, those accumulated premiums that you've paid for that policy are returned to you. Now you have to realize your policy is going to terminate at that point too, right? So you won't have any life insurance at that point for that policy. And we've discussed this on previous podcasts. You should not have all of your coverage be in term coverage, right? Because term eventually terminates anyway. So you get all that premium back tax-free. Now, here's a kind of a little drawback. Now, the premium on those policies normally does cost a little bit more than your traditional term life insurance policy. So compare and contrast, see if it makes sense for you. Say, well, hey, if it's going to be $40 a month versus $25 a month, does it make sense for me to get this ROP term policy versus the lower price traditional term policy? Maybe it does in that case. Maybe it doesn't. It depends on your budget. Now, if it's $100 per month versus $20 a month, maybe that's a little bit too much, right? So you compare and contrast and see what makes sense for you. I have one of those policies myself. I have an ROP term policy, and I'm looking forward to getting my big fat check when I'm retired, right? So it's going to be down the line when I retire. That term policy will terminate. I'll get all my premiums back, and I'll use that money very nicely. Best believe that. So check and see. It may not be for everybody, but that's a way for you to get your premiums back out of a particular type of life insurance policy, a return of premium ROP term life insurance policy. Okay, that's one way. Another way to get all of your money back out of a life insurance policy is a whole life policy. So at some point during the period of a whole life policy, your accumulated cash value is going to exceed the premiums that you paid into that policy. And I normally see it, the sweet spot is normally around 20, 25 years, between 20 to 25 years. Normally your premiums will exceed, your cash value will exceed the premiums that you've paid into the policy. If you're receiving a standard rate or better than standard, like preferred or what have you. If you're receiving a substandard rate for some health reason or what have you, you're probably not going to get at that point, but you'll get close to it. You'll still have a nice accumulated cash value in your policy going forward. So normally the sweet spot, like I said before, is 20 to 25 years. And sometimes I've seen it go out to 30 years, but most policies between 20 to 25 years, your accumulated cash value will exceed the premiums that you've paid into that policy. And at that point, you can cash the policy out and say, hey, I'm out. I want my cash value. And they will send you a check for the cash value of the policy. But you do have to realize, again, you'll have no coverage at that point. So if you cash in the policy, you have no coverage, no life insurance coverage, and maybe that's not the best way to go. Now, speak to your accountant about the tax repercussions, right? Because if you're receiving the cash value of the policy, now the premiums you paid in, that's after-tax money also. So the premium part of the cash value, if you've paid $30,000 in premium and you're getting $35,000 in cash value, probably not going to have any tax consequences on that $30,000, but probably will on 5. Speak to an accountant about that. Okay, I'm just throwing things out there at you, but speak with an accountant about the tax repercussions of doing something like that. Now, if you want to keep your policy intact and use the cash value in the policy, what you do is you take a loan against the cash value, so you can keep the policy going and take a loan against the cash value. And that's a way for you to use the cash value while you're living instead of cashing it out totally. So, and it still will pay the benefits. So some people get concerned, oh, is that gonna hurt my policy? It will reduce the benefits. So say it will reduce the payout to your beneficiaries, let me put it that way. So say if you have a $100,000 policy and you have a $15,000 loan against the cash value and $5,000 of accumulated interest, because there's gonna be interest charged against that loan. What the policy would do is pay out $100,000 minus the $15,000 loan minus the $5,000 interest that's accumulated. So 100,000 minus 20,000, it will pay out $80,000 to your beneficiaries. If it's $1 million policy and you have a $100,000 outstanding loan, same thing. Say if you have $10,000 of accumulated interest, it's going to pay out $1 million minus $110,000. So it will pay out $890,000 to your beneficiaries. So that's a way for you to keep it intact while you're using the cash value, while you're still living, okay? So there you go, short podcast, right? So those are the 2 ways you can get all of your money back out of life insurance policies, either the ROP, term life insurance policy, or a whole life policy. And there you go, quick and simple, easy stuff, okay? So our recap for today. There are ways to get your money back from life insurance. That's our recap. There are ways to do it. Those are the 2 main ways right there, the ROP term life insurance and the whole life insurance policy, okay? The takeaway for today, compare and check how practical that is for you, because everyone has their own budget. Not everyone can afford to do that, but check and see. You never know until you check and see. So have someone run those rates for you to see what's in your best interest. If you want to call me, I'll run some for you. That's fine. I have clients all across the country, like I said before, or you could use whoever you're comfortable with. Just make sure they're checking out several different companies and not just one, okay? I thank you for listening in. I'm going to end our podcast. I thank you so much. Please share this podcast with others and ask them to do the same so we can make these things go viral and get that information out there so people can make good decisions for themselves and for their families. If you want to connect with me, it's easy to do that. ErnestBurleyJr@gmail.com. It's just my full name at Gmail. So ErnestBurleyJr@gmail.com. Or you can call my firm at 301-262-2600. Again, that's 301-262-2600, and we'd be more than delighted to help you out. All of my podcasts are on YouTube, so please go to my YouTube channel. It's just my name, Ernest Burley Jr., right? Go to my YouTube channel and check out the various podcasts. And I also have some 1-minute quickies on there, right? So, and they deal with different topic matters. I deal with a lot of insurance matters on there, but also things like real estate and, succeeding in your career. All different types of topics are on there. So go check out those different short vignettes and also the podcast, and let other people know. Check out Ernest, check out his YouTube channel, okay? I appreciate it. So that's it for today, okay? I appreciate you listening once again. This is Ernest Burley, your CIA, your cool insurance agent, signing off until we speak again. Y'all take care and be good out there and be safe out there, okay? Bye-bye.